Let's just get it right out of the way. Haste, and that is a good game. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm TOS, and you're watching Hello Good Game. A quick shout out right away to all the winners from yesterday's giveaway.
Oh my god, still no land. This isn't it.
You guys could join the Discord link in this video down below in the description. We can start a personal conversation and find out the best way to get you these gems. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm giving away 500,000 gems to my subscribers. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this out to your friends. In other news, today we are playing Gruul Spellbreaker, an updated M20 version. And the captain has written us a sideboard guide. So that is quite gracious of him. I don't know if you guys seen the quick rendition. Ugh, my throat is just destroyed right now. Anywho, looking at the deck, we have 4 Llanowar Elves, 2 Shocks, 2 Paradise Druids, 4 Thorn Lieutenants, 1 Lava Coil, 3 Domri's Ambush, 4 Gruul Spellbreakers, 2 Domri Anarch of Bolas, 4 Rekindling Phoenix, 2 Shifting Ceratops, 2 Vivian Arcbow Ranger, 1 Domri Chaosbringer, 2 Charging Monstrositor, and 2 Skarkin Hellkite, and 1 Ravager Worm. We also have 4 Stomping Grounds and 1 Rugged Highland, just for that little bit of life if we need it. Looking at our sideboard, which is where this deck is really shining thanks to the captain, we have 1 Shock, 2 Fry, 3 Lava Coil, 2 Force Landing, 2 Cindervines, 1 Thrashing Brontodon, 2 Vivian Reed, 1 Chandra's Awakened Inferno, and 1 Ravager Worm. I am missing a few of the cards that we're wanting in this deck, and I don't have the rares for them at this moment because I'm busy giving you guys my rares. So check out the deck list for the perfect version, and there's a guide there as well. But for the purposes of this video, I'll be playing Thrashing Brontodon, and I also am playing... What am I playing instead? I'm missing one of the Chaos Bringers, and I think the Shifting Ceratops, the captain has them in the sideboard, but we're running the main board for now. When we break it down, Llanowar Elves just is ramping, right? Paradise Druid is ramping. Domri Anarch of Bolas, 80% of the time he's ramping, and in the other 20%, you'd be using his -2 target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So this is like a rabid bite, if you will. Just some spot removal, because we do have the big creatures, and worst case scenario, you kill with the Phoenix and he's just going to come back. We have Shock for a little bit of spot removal for anything serious. 4 Thorn Lieutenants. These are really great, in my opinion, because you're facing red a lot of the times. You're facing Esper a lot of the times. Which is like the black, blue, and white. So anytime it's being targeted, you're getting to make that 1/1, which is just pretty good value for 2, right? So you can continue to smack your opponent down. We have 1 Lava Coil. Now this is situational. We do have 3 extra Lava Coils in the sideboard, right? So if we need something, right, we don't want to run 4 Lava Coils main deck if we play an Esper deck. So it's limited for that reason. But we are wanting to remove a lot of things with this Lava Coil eventually down the road. We also have 3 Domri's Ambush. So this is the fight mechanic again. Except for it doesn't fight, it just deals damage, which is great. So you're not taking damage in this interaction. And you're putting a 1/1 counter on a target creature before it deals damage to a target opponent creature, which is really, really great. So a cool way to power up most of your things. Even your Llanowar Elves could do a little bit of damage there, right? We have 4 Gruul Spellbreakers, so this is Gruul the Gamebreaker, right? Riot Trample, 3/3, so he could come out as a 4/4 or a 3/3 with haste. And as long as it's your turn, he has Hexproof, which is pretty cool, especially for the fact that he only costs 3. Domri Anarch of Bolas, we talked about this already. It's also going to give our creatures +1/+0, which is really great. Rekindling Phoenix, this is the 4/3 flyer that comes back if it dies as a token, and then at the beginning of your upkeep you exile the token and the Phoenix comes back. So they'll have to double remove to deal with it, right? Or a Lava Coil. That's a big reason we do have all the lava coils, is to spot remove cards like the Phoenix and other entry and exits triggers. We have 2 shifting Ceratops, so this spell can't be countered, which is a lot of fun, and it's protection from blue, so it beats down Espers. And for one forest, you can give it reach, trample, or haste until end of turn. We also have 2 Vivian Arcbow Rangers. So this is distributing 2 1/1 counters among up to 2 target creatures you control. They can trample until the end of turn, which is great. Token distribution, you can get a little bit of extra in there. If they have blockers, you're putting trample on, which is great. The -3 though is what we're really here for. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. So this is basically the Domri Ambush, the Domri -2, just those fight abilities, right? Because we have the bigger creatures, if we fight them and then we attack them, it's almost double value. We also have 1 copy, and the deck does call for 2 of this, so make sure you check that. 1 Chaos Bringer. So his +1 is you're adding mana to cast a creature, it gains Riot. And then -3, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. So this is nice late game. It's just that draw engine, right? And -8, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of each end step, create a 4/4 red and green beast token with trample. So that will obviously break the game as well. We have 2 charging monstrositors. Trample haste. This is just really good to deal with planeswalkers, even just get those last few points of damage in. It costs 4, but we're mana ramping, so we could maybe get this turn 2, turn 3. Well, turn 2 probably wouldn't happen. Turn 3 or turn 4, though, for sure. And Skark and Hellkite for 5. This creature has Riot himself, which is really nice, and flying. So when you do choose the Riot +1 counter ability, he'll have a counter on it, and then you can activate his 4 paid ability, which is dealing 2 damage divided among any 2 targets. And you can activate it as long as it has a counter on it. So we could put a counter on this via Domri's Ambush as well to get out of paying the +1/+1 Riots feature, and then we can use haste and just get those initial attacks in, right? We also have 1 copy of the Ravager Worm. Also has Riot, and when you enter the battlefield, you get to choose 1. Either he deals or fights a target creature you don't control, or he destroys a land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability, which is pretty lame. But we can take out Field of the Dead with this. Things like that, right? Unfortunately, it won't take out Search for Azcanta. And, yeah, getting into the sideboard, obviously we have the Shock just to deal with things fried when you're going up against Esper decks or Grixis decks, things like that. Anything with blue in it, really. The Lava Coil when you're doing a mirror match or other creature matches. Forced Landing. This is also great for landing a Bolus and even the Hydroid Krasis if it gets really big. Just getting rid of it, right, instead of sending it back to the graveyard. Cindervines, this is great against Esper, Thrashing Bronzodon, obviously just for the artifact removal or enchantment removal. 2 Vivian Reeds, this is basically just a draw engine as well, right? You can also destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, so the -3 on Vivian is great as well. And then Chandra, Awakened Inferno. This is great because it can't be countered. And you can immediately start tagging your opponent. So against an Esper, if you do get the mana, this is going to shut him right down because you can put an emblem on him. Even if he destroys it next turn, he's got the emblem, and now he's going to kill you somehow, some way, without milling you, right? And then just another Ravager Worm. So that's the deck. Halfway through today's footage, you'll see me using a little bit of a different iteration of this deck. It's roughly the same deck. There's just a couple changes, right? Like we didn't have any Paradise Druids, and we didn't have Domri Chaos Bringer or the Ravager Worm, for example. Also, the Charging Monstrositor came in. It's the same idea, though, so we're going to play a couple matches here off the start. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's new sideboard guide. They're still going to be coming out day to day with these, and they're only going to get better. So bear with us. The first few may be a little bit choppy, but all things to come are good, right? So I hope you're excited. I know we're excited. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy today's footage. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again. All right. Dun da da da. George Taylor. Hello, hello, hello. This looks like something we're going to hold on to. So we see the Shifting Ceratops just become the most valuable card that we have as he dropped. What is this? It cuts the top off for me. A Tranquil Cove. One of the new lands. Playing into our Paradise Druid. Not quite an Esper deck, as we see he's dropped a Temple Garden as well. Into a Sun Petal Grove. Now into an Elvish Rejuvenator. So he's playing a lot of different lands here. Field of the Dead could be an issue. Potentially being shape-skifted. We do have the ability to do some damage at this point. I think we're going to go for it. He could have white removals, such as Prison Realm. Even Exelon's Binding. Continuing to just play and play and play. Could it be a gate deck, I wonder? We have a land, a forest, so no gates. This will be his first gate. And then we do see Field of the Dead drop. Which is acceptable. We can learn to deal with this.
Nature will take back what rightfully belongs to it.
Just putting counters on our creatures for Vivian's Plus ability.
Enough to survive.
And we are coming over now for 9. We'll probably see 2 blockers, which is fine. We lose our Paradise Druid, but we do have plenty of land on the back end, so we're not overly concerned about that. Next turn we play a Gruul Spellbreaker with haste. We put a token on it. And we are back to Smash Town. So Shifting Ceratops is one of the new additions to M20. Probably one of the best cards in the set as far as I'm concerned. Can't be countered for 1, and then protection from blue, which is absolutely great. So this is a little bit risky. A couple things to think about here. Obviously, we can put a plus onto our Shifting Ceratops and then fight with our Bolus. I think that's probably our best bet. We could also just take our Ravager Worm and destroy it that way. So we're putting 2 counters on our Ceratops, which is
This'll be fun to watch.
absolutely disgusting. Now we're fighting his Krasis.
There'll be nothing but dust when I'm done.
And now we are attacking for 9, and he can't do a damn thing about it. We have a Lava Coil in the pocket to deal with whatever he plays. We could have given ourselves Vigilance, I believe. No. Reach or Trample. So you see the Rejuvenator drop again for more land. We'll be okay as long as Nexus of Fate doesn't drop, right? 3 Fields of the Dead. It's getting pretty aggressive. Obviously, we could just pick a flyer and deal with it in that fashion.
Yeah, doesn't always work out how you want.
So a couple things here. Let's go haste. And he has 10 available here to block, which is pretty aggressive. Let's load up our Spellbreaker with 2. So we have 13 available to hit, and he has 10 to block, so he would take 3. But most likely, he would need to use 4 blockers to kill my Ceratops. We're just going to go for it. The growth spiral is pretty cool. And we do have to make sure we give our Ceratops trample. So unfortunately with that, he was able to put 3 more zombies on the field, which is going to hoop us. So both of our creatures will die here. So that's incredible. Really cleaning house though, at least. Our Vivian is dead here. Wow. So I suppose the play would have been our Ravager Worm. Thorn Lieutenant's a dead card here for us. And we're seeing Hydroid Krasis, which absolutely ruins the game for us. Okay. We can deal with this. Forced Landing comes in. Ravager Worm comes in. We kind of want to take this for the blue, right? So we know Thorn Lieutenant can leave. Puts us to 59. Let's take a fry. Not a great hand. We're really relying on draws. But we do have very good ramp. If we could top deck a Spellbreaker, that would have been great. We have no play for 2, so this can come in. And, you know, death by 1,000 Llanowar Elves, I suppose. So we're going to enter immediately with our Domri -3.
What a glorious day for these go here, those go there.
And we're taking our Ravager Worm, which is great. It's a little expensive. It costs 6, but we do have the land. Again, this deck's not doing much damage without Field of the Dead, and if we could continuously remove those, we should be in a really good situation. Big surprise there, right? So we have 4, 5, we could go to 6.
My muscles may be small, but watch out when I flex them.
Playing our Ravager Worm now. And it's weird because he did see this the whole time. And I'm actually looking to give 1 haste and 1 counter. Oh, it's not activated, it's triggered. So that's our bad. Ravager Worm won't deal with Field of the Dead, but it will deal with our opponent, luckily. He's looking to remove our Domri, but he may also just take our Worm, which is okay. I guess let's get a plus in. Just getting that attack in. It's a bit of a bummer we lost our Worm to an Excellence Binding. But let's try to make do with what we have. We never know where Phoenix lies in our deck, right? Grow from Ashes, just looking for land. He needs 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the 5th. So he needs 2 more lands. Doing our -3 here, really trying to get those creatures out. So that's actually not the worst, getting rid of those, right? Rugged Highlands for the life. And, you know, just winning the game with the Llanowar Elf. Nothing really to see here. I'm not sure what he would do other than a Growth Spiral. Yeah, okay. So he's out of land, or he would have played one that turn. I guess just getting to search with them here. He must have gotten that, yeah. Oh, talk about the dirty devil and he appears. I think I would like to give it haste, as it is a flyer. We will Domri's Ambush the Reach as well. Get that out of the way. And getting those 5 smashing, dashing points of damage in. Absolutely beautiful. See another binding on our Phoenix. That's actually really bad because we're unable to play cards with the same name as this. So no more Phoenixes. And now we see Scape Shift. Good game. So this is a pretty unique combo that you don't often see. But because he has Field of the Dead, he is going to stack these 2/2 zombies like a motherfucking boss. He gets to basically search his library for as many lands as he just put in the graveyard. And then for each land he brings on the field, he should trigger a million 2/2s, right? So that's always a lot of fun to see. I hope everyone enjoyed that. We're getting smashed down. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes. And, yeah. Good game. I'm not sure how I would block 38 damage next turn, but I'm sure we could try to figure it out. We're keeping this only because we can ramp into a Monstrositor. And we have no ramp for 2, so we're going to get rid of the Stomping Grounds off the start. It's a pretty slow start. It does appear to be an Izzet deck who's getting very greedy with Search for Escanta. I guess we can play our Vivian.
With the Arcbow at my side, I can't lose a fight.
And let's just power this Llanowar Elf for next turn.
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
It's now out of range of a shock, still victim to Lightning Strike and Lava Coil. Oh my goodness, we see black, a swamp added to the mix. This could get risky. But he's being a little bit greedy, I believe, with the discovery at this point. Perhaps he's still looking for Phoenixes. We could be wrong about this, but it's looking like a Grixis, especially with that counter non-creature spell. Let's ramp right into it. Tossing him up to 7 for a grueling attack. Cast down. We'd prefer the cast down on our Monstrositor over our Hellkite. This will be coming on the field with haste. And we are distributing more counters to all our goodies. That's GG. So, I'm not sure what we have to play or change. He does have blue, but I don't know if we're going to be able to remove anything other than potentially the Phoenixes. I might take out the Ravager Worm and run Chandra's Inferno if it goes the distance. We have no enchantments to destroy. Forced Landing, I think, is probably pretty good. I'm just... What do we drop, right? Our Shifting Ceratops, probably. And we keep the shock. Yeah, I think the Ceratops goes here. Well, he does have blue, actually. Ha. I guess Domri's Ambush can go. Because it shouldn't be too creature heavy. It's just the Phoenixes. Be sure to read the sideboard guide on today's video and let us know what you guys think of it. We'd love your feedback. Oh, this is a good ramp. Turn 1 Llanowar Elf. Turn 2 Paradise Druid. Okay, so hold the phone. Probably our Thorn Elemental. Or sorry, Lieutenant. Our Thorn Lieutenant, yeah. And it is a Grixis. We see a Bolus dropped. Fortunately for us, we have a turn 2 Spellbreaker, which is going to make this guy's day, I'm sure. Gruul the Gamebreaker Volume 2. We'll toss our Paradise Druid in, striking this turn for 4, down to 13, and we have a shock in the pocket. Plus Domri's Ambush, which he sees both of. We do see a Lava Coil, which is acceptable. That's why we went haste and got that initial attack in, right? Unfortunately, that's his turn. And fortunately, that was our draw. Still getting 3 damage in, though, which is really nice. So we're halfway there. We have a little bit of gas left in the engine, but this could go bad. We're gonna have to discard our land here. It's pretty cool. Oh my god. So we could still use our shock view browser. Let's do a counter this turn. And we'll still attack with our druid and hopefully shock with our dear friend here. Oh, we're out of mana. Oops. That's our bad. That's our bad. That's our bad. We thought we had spare mana and we were going to shock. And now we just got bedeviled. Fuck. So this is not doing very well for us. We could have killed this Bolus, but we don't think it's worth it.
Those who cannot perceive beyond the veil, meditate and prepare.
Search for Escanta we're not concerned about. Oh my god. What in the world is up with this land, you guys? Pretty brutal turn of events here. I'd like to think it wasn't because of my mistake, but we all know it was. Okay, we see Narset.
I have just the trick for this.
Whiff. Oh my god, he pulled a Bolus. So we will actually run Fry. If we don't already have it. Bad situation we're in. Because this Grix, like, he can -3 anything. Bad situation. We'll try to ride it out for your guys' sake, though. Let's see how this cookie crumbles. When you're getting beat down is a perfect time to check the Twitch comments. Morning, everyone. Bolus beating us down. Get rid of our stomping ground.
My schemes are never ending.
They truly are, Bolus. I have a scheme for you next turn, though. Probably has a negate in his hand, though, to protect his Bolus, which is going to make me cry. He's now transforming. Little Bolus into giant Bolus. 4 abilities. Absolutely crazy. +2, draw 2 cards.
The dead shall serve me.
That's that. Let's take it to round 3, guys. Dun, 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 dun. So we do want the fries. Those need to come in for sure. Chandra can go. He has too much removal. And well, I think another one of our ambushes can go, because how are we going to take out a bolus? I guess an ambush would do it on a lot of things, so maybe that's a mistake. Let me know what you think down below. Playing first, and we are keeping 7 because we can't afford to mulligan. Ready for shocking. And we see a nice slow start. Into our Thorn Lieutenant. Hopefully no Thought Erasure. Because if our Shifting Ceratops get Thought Erasure like this, I'm just like, fuck this guy, man. Pardon my language. More land, of course. A rendition of last match. Hopefully he doesn't drop a land, and he was greedy on the turn 2 Thought Erasure. Ah, could be, folks. Could be, folks. Let's see. No land drop. There it is. Shit. Oh, of course we have the land drop. Why wouldn't we? So it's looking grim already. We need to trim some land out of this bastard. Oh no. Taking our Monstrositor, which is brutal. Good game. Nice. Oops. So we're really relying on some heavy duty drops here off the top. Let's see if we get lucky. For all I know, he has a cast down just chilling. What the frick is up with this land? Oh my god, we're getting flooded. We should build a deck called Noah's Ark. Make it a land drop deck. Because this place is flooded. Ugh. Yeah, good for you. What is this world I live in? So an absolute wash of around here. I'm not sure we can do anything about that. Swamp into Narset, world's best card.
I know 88 ways to defeat.
88 ways or 45 ways? I think it's more like 45 ways, bro. I appreciate that you have 88 ways, but we may as well bust Narset so he can't draw a bolus with it. Surrendering to the beatdown, unfortunately. What do you know? More land. Alright, guys, if I draw a land, I'm going to give away someone to one of our lucky viewers 750 gems. If I draw another land, the next person shout out in the chat is going to get sent 750 gems. You got a shout out in the chat before I draw a land, though. It's coming up quick. I'm gonna wait as long as I can. Ah, no, yeah. Oh, no land. Lucky me. Keeping my gems in my pocket. We have to put a counter on it. We've no option other than to lose this game in 2 turns. We could draw a Fry and nuke his Bolus. That would be ideal. Nice. So we lose our Gamebreaker and we draw a Llanowar Elf. That's that. Please no more. For your guys' sake, I'm going to try one more. But that's it for the day. I've got a lot of stuff to get done. I am late for breakfast. We get a rare. That's what's up. Collecting those rares. So if you guys need rares, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We give all the subscribers a ton of gems. We are like a gem fountain of renewal over here. Fortunately for you guys, my breakfast companions are sleeping in. They must have got it pretty wild last night. So this is a great hand if we can draw the land, right? Our opponent does go first, so we get 2 opportunities to draw. 3 opportunities, actually. And he mulligans, which is always a good sign. 2 mulligans, even a better sign. And with that, we've won this round. Congratulations, everybody. That was hard work. So I'm not even sure what we're playing against, so we'll just keep it. And yeah, he's got quite a mountain to climb up. He'll need to win back-to-back games. Fortunately for us, I don't think that's going to happen. Our opponent does go first again, so we'll keep, and we're just waiting on a single forest, which I think our odds are pretty good. We've seen another mulligan into Field of the Dead. Seeing a Golgari mixture. A Phoenix, which isn't bad considering all of the red land we have. I would still have rather drawn a forest, so we could have put our Paradise Druid into play. Okay. Let's see if we have a growth spiral. Gift of Paradise, gaining 3 life, and now he has 2 mana. No forest yet, which is actually becoming troubling. We have a lot of late game in our hand here. We're never going to drop Vivian's Arcbow Ranger, unfortunately, as a triple forest. That is a dead card. We should have shocked. Let's get rid of our Arcbow Ranger, as that's unplayable. I mean, he's already so far along for us to come back. Strain the shock. I mean, we do have a pretty good hand held, so like the chances that we could draw is pretty good. However, that amass commence the end game 5/5 is pretty aggressive, and we're gonna have to find a way to deal with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He needs 1 more land type, and he probably just found it by the looks of it. There are his lands, and now double Field of the Dead. We are in deep trouble. Now it's game. Field of the Dead, hey? I mean, Cindervines would punish him. But I don't know if it's worth adjusting anything here. Let's try to get some initial green in our hand, some forests. I drew 7 land in a row last game, so if I do again, and I need to quit drawing land, I'm going to give away those gems again. We do see the forest, and luckily we have a Skark and Hellkite as a single drop. Hopefully we don't see a Thought Erasure. I'm so forgetful, I forget what we're playing against. Oh yeah, Field of the Dead. So no Thought Erasure, potentially. Hopefully not. Playing green off the start, so we should be good. However, it is black, so he could drop an island on a second turn. We also see a Shifting Ceratops drop on our behalf, which is pretty nice, just for the fact that it's a 5/4. We'll be able to drop that next turn. In with our lovely Ceratops, being able to ramp ahead of your opponent's own or his own land drop, incredibly helpful. Ooh, and a shout out to Aaron Brovich yesterday. I congratulated you as a male figure when in fact you are a female. So many apologies, miss. Great deck, however, though. It's good to see the Lady Power representing. We're dropping into a Hellkite, and we are going with haste, and we are in for 9 this turn. GG's. Easy peasies. For any of our viewers who are new, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're giving away 500,000 gems to our subscribers, so don't forget to take part in that. Easy as subscribing. We're safe from Ritual of Suit. Wilderness Wreck. Okay, so we could see some shenanigans here. Let's just get it right out of the way. Haste, and that is a good game. So with that, we're calling it a day. I've got to go out and get breakfast, not to mention producing the rest of this video and getting it online for the rest of you guys. We're close to another pack. Yeah, so that was it. That is the new and updated Gruul deck for Core Set 20. A couple new things. Vivian Arcbow Ranger is a lot of fun. As far as the sideboard go, we have Fry to deal with any huge threats in the air, and we also have Chandra, Awakened Inferno, for those Esper matchups. Make sure to check out our sideboard guide down below and let us know what you think of it. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Let's see if we can make some Gruul out of our opponents. We should call this deck Goulash. Gruulash. This is a turn 2 Spellbreaker, which is going to be disgusting in our opponent. He seems to have mulliganed twice, if I'm counting right, so that's GG. Turn 3 Phoenix, turn 4 Hellkite. Easy as that. There's nothing worse than a turn 2 Spellbreaker. Like, just absolutely ruins the game. There's not much you can do about that. Could have a simple removal, I guess. Cast down. Just discovering his whole deck again. Unfortunately, way too little, way too late. That's a turn 3 Phoenix, and we are wiling out. He's dealing with that, which is fine. We have a lot more for him to deal with, so just hold on. Hammering down with our Spellbreaker. We see a Bedevil on our Hellkite, which is totally okay. We still have a Shock and Lethal next turn. It's a terrible draw for our opponent. We do know that he is running some sort of Grixis deck, so we may want some more Thorn Lieutenants, right? So we also want to keep our shifting Ceratops. The Lava Coil can probably go, and a Shock can go, and we'll up 2 Thorn Tenants to 4, just so we get good value out of those when he destroys them. He should be playing first. Always play first when you get the chance. Keeping 7 because we have a Nullhide Ferox here. We almost missed the forest we drew for our Llanowar Elf. Paying life for our Growth Chamber Guardian. Just get some quick damage out. Interesting. So he's getting rid of all of my Growth Chamber Guardians. Ah, goodbye Rekindling Phoenix. I would have taken Growth Chamber Guardian. We don't get to draw any cards because there was none in our hand. But that's alright. Really taking his time. That's okay though. Brutal. I say let's go in with our Warboss and just full aggro. We'll save our Nullhide Ferox for finisher. It does have hexproof, so unless it gets countered at the gate, we're all good. And he can't discard it from our hand, so it's the best one to keep there. Oh, woof. This is going to be brutal for him as well, though. He'll have to use Bedeck or Bedevil, something like this. Or just a good old-fashioned Lava Coil. That's pretty groovy, eh? Thankfully, our Ferox has hexproof, so we should be golden here with that. Oh, he could get us with Angrass Rampage.
Gods once, I am one again.
That's okay, we can just kill his Bolas next turn.
Will be painfully outsmarted you eons ago.
Taking out his Bolas, easy peasy.
I have other schemes to attend to.
He does still have 3, now 4 cards in his hand, so quite a bit to contend with still. However, we can't let Bolas just hang out. It looks like he's going for the double removal. 2 lightning strikes. Wow. What an amazing sideboard card with Noxious Grasp. So we've got a long ways to go here. We're going to have to chug a lug to get through this. A secondary Bolas is going to be pretty hard for us to deal with. It's a lot of value. If we draw a Spellbreaker, perchance, Growth Chamber Guardian will actually help a little bit. Taking action, we have 2 left. Hitting Bolas down.
Insolent fool.
Just stalking his hand with cards here. It's very bad for us.
Your bloodline, let your weak minds crumble.
Enter God Eternals is just lovely, isn't it? So with that, he is 1 round to it, we'll see. Unless we draw something to kill his Bolas, but I don't think we have anything for that right now. If he doesn't have any removal, this could save us. Hitting his Bolas down to 1. And now we can shock it next turn. Llanowar Elf's not doing anything.
Witness a mote of my power.
Bolas just screaming at us. So we're keeping our shock to deal with Bolas. We have another Bolas on the field, which is brutal. And now a Bedevil. Great. That's lovely. Getting hammered down. We throw out our Thorn Lieutenant, which would have been nice off the start. And zap his Bolas.
Defiance is infuriating.
Only 2 more Boluses to go, and 3 more Ravagers to go, plus this is 4. It's a bummer, because when he transforms it, he can just bring his Bolas back. So that's basically GG, I'd say. And he does it after he attacks, of course. Which is just brutal. Alright. Let's see if we can win round 3. We're going to change out Vivian's just so we get some extra draw, because he seems to be removing a lot of what we have to offer, so we're going to need to replenish those things. That's a lot of land. Luckily, we have Thorn Lieutenant to start. Three Stomping Grounds is pretty lucky. Starting with our Thorn Lieutenant. So there's not a lot of changes made to the Gruul for M20. Shifting Ceratops is really the only thing.
You want hostile? You got it. Nothing disgusts me more than law and order.
Getting a nice early hit in. And we do have Domri, so we can play our Hellkite next turn. Never mind. So no Hellkite, which is kind of crippling for us. That was our whole hand. Right?
Oh, I wish you could see your face while I'm beating you.
Just gonna keep getting in with our Thorn Lieutenant. Ritual of Suit would kill it without targeting it. What the fuck's up with this land?
Come and destroy.
Just land flooded. There's not much we can do about that. I was debating on mulliganing our opening hand, but fortunately that didn't work.
The multiverse will bend to my will.
He's thinking about using his -3 on my Bolus, or my Domri, sorry. But I don't really think that's appropriate value, seeing as how much land we have.
Always work out how you want.
Growth Chamber Guardians may save us. It's hard to say. We have a ton of land in our hand to discard for Bolus. That's that.
You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
A beautiful, beautiful lava coil. We're getting extremely outvalued here. Just doing all we can to stay alive. This Growth Chamber Guardian is the only thing saving us. Like, really, why would you be debating on whether to do your Bolus or your Narset first? They're both draws. Let's go. Ritual of Suit ruins my game. That's that. Unfortunately. There's no way to come back from that. Our rank is slipping a little bit, but we're going to deal with that later. Unfortunately, I do have to make these videos every day of unique decks, so it is a little bit harder to push rank. But we'll get there, right? As always, please share your tips, tricks, and my misplays. We're always looking to learn. Dombri's ambush can go, and we now have a potential turn 4. More control. We've not seen a lot of control lately. The Thorn Lieutenant is pretty nice in this matchup. A Tombbound Lich, really? Are we seeing a Reanimator? Oh, obviously, Grixis Reanimator. So that's pretty brutal for us.
You call it anarchy. For me, it's just another day. Oh, I wish you could see your face while I'm beating you.
So we're going to hold our turn. Secondary Tombbound Lich, which is great. Gets the draw and now discard. No blocks here for me.
Ooh, right on my noggin. Busting heads is my bread and butter.
Let's open up with our flyer. That was what he was concerned about to begin with. No attacks. Hopefully we're not seeing any removal. Nice. So this bad boy has haste and he deals damage to literally everything.
Yeah, doesn't always work out how you want.
Very nice play. We do have our shifting Ceratops here. Hitting for 1. Well, 4, I guess. Scry 1's acceptable. Riz and Reef is also acceptable as it has blue. We can do 9 damage, but I'm afraid that's not enough, as he will have lethal on us before. So we're going to have to take this. Oh, whenever it attacks, it deals damage to all of our shit. Good grief, you guys. What a great card. Okay. It's got way too much health for us to deal with. We could deal some flying damage to it by chance. Let's pull out some shocks. And maybe another lava coil. Maybe 3 lava coils. I'm going to be pretty greedy here and drop another ambush, just so we could hopefully remove those Tombbound Liches and maybe be able to link up and oh my gosh. Throwing away one of our stomping grounds. Obviously, we're at a disadvantage here. The second Phoenix does help, because now when we see the first Thought Erase, we do have a second. Right? What a fucking surprise. Good old Thought Erasure, and there goes his fucking tank of a card. So that's less than ideal for us. We do draw our Spellbreaker, which is quite ideal. We're going straight in with haste. And we're going to try to make quick work of this. Lava Coil would be ideal. He's counting his land. He wants to discard a land because his hand is too good. We're going to give this bad boy haste. And we are definitely coming over for 5. We do need an additional 2 shifting Ceratops in this deck. Obviously just going to pull out his huge fucking dragon and break the game. Kill all of our creatures. Absolutely brutal. Just getting fucked. Well, I guess that is that. Literally nothing we can do about it. The Maw of Flames is a very real card and to be taken very seriously. We're going to play 2 to 3 more matches. That's going to be it for today, unfortunately. It is Sunday, so we want to get out and enjoy the sunshine. And I am going for breakfast to a friend's house, which is quite great. This is a terrible, terrible hand. We have to get rid of this. This one's a lot better, except we're missing a mountain. We do have a Domri, but we're still going to need to pull a mountain to play him. So hold on, cross your fingers, and saddle your horses. Here it comes. We're cooking with fire. Quite literally. Getting our turn 2 Thorn Lieutenant, which is pretty groovy. Against blue and red at least. Probably green as well. So we're seeing an elemental deck. Which I suppose is fun. Let's toss our Spellbreaker out. And we're all attacking. Getting that early damage in. Jade Light Ranger is acceptable. He's just exploring. Gets a land and a Tameo, which he's going to leave. And he's tapping his Trailblazer. Let's play our Vivian.
From the smallest ant to the largest hydra, nature is beautiful.
We're doing our -3 on his Jadelight Ranger, just to remove it, and now we still get to hit with 5. It's not losing Vivian that we're concerned about, it's his drop afterwards. A secondary Jadelight Ranger. Gets an Ember Cat, and he's leaving the Ember Cat. Going in with a Bolus / Llanowar Elf.
Nothing like a bit of violence now and then. Oh, I wish you could see your face when I'm beating you.
Getting 3 damage in here, removing his Jadelight Ranger. +1 trample damage is 4. So we're sitting quite pretty, seeing as we have a Rekindling Phoenix in our hand. Looking at his graveyard. Grabbing 6 life and a Jadelight Ranger is pretty cool. Let's try to just outvalue this, though. Pay life. And now we can have our Phoenix come out, which is great. We use Domri's -2. Kill the Trailblazer.
My wild beasts will bring your comeuppance.
All right. I'm not sure we change much of anything, to be honest. I think we just let it roll. We could transfer out one of our Domris, but it's really nice just to get that early ramp. Instead, like, having your creatures come out with Riot is really, really good, I feel like, but what's better is getting the match over right quickly. So we're going to keep it, and hopefully we don't get land screwed. We do have 2 shocks for these early elementals. As such, opening with Growth Chamber Guardian, we have 3 in our hands, so adapting him's not really a high priority. Chandra is a little bit of trouble.
We can do this together.
So we're going into our Spellbreaker with haste. And now we're killing his Chandra.
Consider this bridge burned.
We do have huge field advantage. And that's that. We would like to incorporate more M20 cards into the Gruul deck, so if you have any good ideas of new cards that would fit in and work well with the existing deck that we have here, let me know. And yeah, we can revisit this. Opening our pack, start the day off right. Another Shifting Ceratops. Oh, Marauding Raptor. We actually really like that. We're looking forward to making the Gruul Dino deck. Unfortunately, we need 4 Ripjaw Raptors still, so that's going to take a little bit. Getting into one of our last matches of the day. We're playing first, and we are getting that hand as far away from us as we can. We're going to toss our Domri's Ambush, I believe. We'll fake a shock. Thorn Lieutenant's pretty good play against Mirror Match Gruul. We will see Domri.
You call it anarchy. For me, it's just another day.
Getting rid of his Get To Lava Runner, and then getting our attack in early. Next turn we're able to ramp. If we draw land, we're going Hellkite. If we draw anything else, we're going Phoenix. He obviously has to skew the critics, light up the stage. That's okay.
We won't answer to other guilds.
Let's go with our Rekindling Phoenix. Pyromancer to kill our Domri. Interesting. Scare the critics on our Phoenix. Into a shock on our token. Quite curious. He's going straight up top on me, which is semi-threatening. Pretty nice, though. Let's get our Hellkite out. Let's go haste. We are all attacking for 13 damage, and we have a shock in our hand for GG's. He needs to block something. Anything. I find it hard to believe that he could do 9 damage with 3 cards. 7 damage only, really. So he's seen almost perfect execution there. And we're fighting another red deck. We're just going to leave it as is. It's another Gruul, but we didn't see any Gruul. We just seen pure burn, which is strange. That's alright, though. We could deal with a little bit of burn. I think he would have been better off to try burn our creatures out to hold the field, but I could be wrong. $7:30. I've got half an hour to finish this round, produce it, edit it, get it uploaded, etc., etc., and get showered and then go get to breakfast. Breakfast for 2 hours, and then at 10 or 11, I'm headed out to go jeeping out in the great outdoors. I do live in a rural Alberta, so we're right beside the Rocky Mountains, so we try to get out as much as we can. Our opponent gets to play first, which is only fair after that whooping we laid in originally. I can't rely on drawing a mountain. We do have the Growth Chamber Guardians, which could save us. So we're going to keep it, but it's less than ideal. Especially when we draw another forest. relying on a mountain quite heavily. Am I retarded? Did this guy not play green in the first match? I'm sure we've seen a green land. Playing our Thorn Lieutenant, which is a great blocker against mono red. He'll have to create a token to destroy it, or I'll just leave it as a blocker, right? So it's a good deterrent. We're looking for that mountain into our Spellbreaker next turn. He grabs his land, which is great, so he could pay life and then burn me more, which he will. Very interesting. So we're actually going to leave this because he already has Spectacle on us, so there's no point trying to keep that at bay. He must have another light up the stage. Oh my god, scare the critics. We're getting absolutely boned here. No attacks. Oops, good game. He's burnt right through us. Unfortunately, we should have mulliganed and tried to pull a mountain. We seen the 2 Spellbreakers and we got greedy, right? Not so much we can do there. Gluttony gets the best of us. So we're seeing the shock, or the lightning strike if you will, into a firebrand. Obviously I'm going to kill his firebrand. Down to 2 cards. Never mind, another light at the stage, and a risk factor is gravy. We do break free though finally. We're going with a counter for a blocker and just try to put up some sort of wall. He can risk factor us for 8, which is less than ideal. So we're taking the damage there. Our Hellkite's going to get a counter so we can destroy things. We most likely only need 1 blocker. The chances that he pulls another Get to Lava Runner is pretty slim to none. He wants to risk factor me again. Unfortunately, this time I'll have to give him the cards. Yeah. Kind of a bummer. I really like having Narset out on the field for that. It just shuts it down completely. We're going Spellbreaker haste this time. And we're going to shock out this Lava Runner. And we have 2 attackers. Lethal next turn. We would have had close to lethal this turn. Active Treason beats us. Nice. So that was close. We almost pulled that one out. I think we can get it this time for sure. The Thorn Lieutenants can maybe be upped to 4. And let's take some Growth Chamber Guardians out, I guess. Yeah. All right, the grand finale. definitely getting rid of this. Oh my god, you guys. This is not good. This is really, really bad. Pretty brutal. We're going to ditch both Domri's ambush. Try to keep our Bolas to ramp into something good. Five cards, it's not an ideal start. Luckily, he played down to 5 as well, so it will be a fair match. And we do have a Thorn Lieutenant to open, which is actually pretty nice. That actually opens up our Phoenix for next turn, which is also really nice.
Day for chaos. Oh, I wish you could see your face when I've beaten you.
Getting that early damage in. Hopefully we can set the pace from there. It looks like he may be... Oh, never mind. I was going to say he's landlocked, but he's definitely not. Really? So he takes away our Phoenix. However, we're able to bring it right back here. He'll need to lava coil that if he has it. I'm sure he does. Hopefully we can get one turn with it. Another Thorn Lieutenant is ideal. Let's just zap this out. Why not, right? Taking action here. He's got a lot of damage to do. And we are way ahead. We almost have lethal next turn. Obviously, he's got a lava coil here because he's targeting us. We did get the single attack out, which is nice. Risk Factor again, taking more action. Risk Factor is kind of a dead card. And that is good game. We have bullied through for the win. So thanks for watching today's video, you guys. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. We are still doing the gem giveaway. We're working on phase 3. So we have a ton of gems to give away. I think we're giving away 5 packs of 750, 5 packs of 1600, and 5 packs of 3400. So in total, that is a lot of gems to be giving away. So make sure to tell your friends to like and subscribe to the channel as well. If they're interested in getting some gems, it could even help you get your gems quicker as we'll reach those milestones sooner. Thanks for watching again. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and we will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day.